It should be twice. So it's chords of twice, 4 bars. Oh, that's the bridge. I mean, I think there's.
Good morning. We're going to start off with a little good morning song. You can totally put your hands together and sing with me if you want to. Wave away my yesterday, 'cause I'm leaving it behind me. Hello, sunshine, come with me. I feel something new inside me. I hear the birds singing, now my alarm's ringing. Get up, hey, it's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day. This morning, I'm stepping on my way. Strength gives me just what I need, and I can feel the hope that's rising in me. Good morning. Slow down, breathe in, don't move away. I'm living in this moment. I've got my arms raised, unfazed, jump out of bed. Get this party going. I went to bed dreaming, you woke me up singing. Get up, hey, it's a good morning. Welcome to a brand new day. Stepping on my way. Strength gives me just what I need, and I can feel the hope that's rising in me. Good morning. Good morning. Now I'm smiling and I'm kissing all my worries goodbye. I got the feeling it must spread my wings. I wanna fly. You are my dreams, my way. Give me the strength to sing. Get up, get up. It's a good morning. Yeah. Good morning. To a brand new day. This morning, stepping on my way. Strength, give me just what I need. I can feel the hope that's rising in me. A good morning. Oh yeah. Good morning. Oh yeah. I can feel the hope that's rising in me. A good morning. A good morning. A good morning. You say it. Good morning. Rising in me. A good morning. Yeah. You guys are good. Spiritual alive in us. You're alive in us right here. Spiritual alive in us. Shining right through everyone here. Sir, you're a force in us. Reaching out with every touch. Spiritual, the voice in us. Keeping us beyond the hush. peace in us, spreading out around the world. Spiritual love in us, flying like a flag unfurled. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We feel it, we feel it, we feel it, we feel it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We see it, believe it, the Spirit. Spiritual grace in us, you're the love in us right here. Spiritual the light in us, shining through us right here. Spiritual the love in us, reaching out with every touch. Spiritual the voice in us, rising up beyond us. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We feel it, we feel it, we feel it, we feel it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We see it, believe it, the Spirit. Feel it, believe it, the Spirit. We feel it, believe it, the Spirit.
Miawen Omonen. Neto Reverend Jeffrey Ryan. We here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living acknowledge that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Kauai, the Gabrielino Tonga, the Kizh, and Ruiseño peoples. We commit to living in right relations, to love our neighbors, to seek justice and loving kindness, and to walk humbly upon this land. We recognize our oneness so that we may decolonize our minds and set each other free from the pain of racism and violence, to live better as God intended in harmony with nature and with one another. So good morning, beloveds.
Good morning.
Woo-hoo. Hi, everybody. Good to see all y'all. All y'all. That's plural for y'all, right? All y'all. Right. It's good to see everybody. I am Reverend Jeffrey Ryan. I am the senior minister here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, where
Love lives here.
love lives here, absolutely, yes. So it is great to see all of you joining us here in the sanctuary. We have a very special day today. We have a very special guest musician joining us, Marlon Mackey joining us. Traveled all the way down from Bakersfield this morning to be with us this morning. He is a member of CSL Bakersfield, so welcome, and welcome to your mother Amanda. Welcome. Wonderful to have both of you with us this morning. And we are also at noon today celebrating the dedication of the Peace Pole in memory of Reverend Lee. So our beloved Jim Crump is here as well. And friends and family, it's great to see all of you here this morning. It's great to see all of you beloveds here online, joining us online as well. Good morning to Mom and Dad in Las Vegas. Aloha kaka hiaka to Casey and Wayne. And Casey is back in Oregon, and she had this to say. Hold on, it's tiny. Good morning from CSL's Camp Cedar Ridge in Vernonia, Oregon. I haven't stopped smiling and happy dancing since Friday at 3:14 p.m. when the deed recorded. So CSL now owns Camp Cedar Ridge in Oregon. And so she says thank you to RCSL for your contributions and to Michelle, who is a big part of the team that got us here. And so good morning to Greg and Ray joining us online this morning. Good morning to John and Lupe, and good morning to Corey. Great to have all of you joining us. And I was going to say good morning to Beverly, who's joining us online on YouTube, but Beverly's sitting right there in the audience this morning. So good morning, Beverly and Robert. Great to have you with us here. So let's just breathe it in. Breathe in the joy of this day. Breathe in the light, the love, the laughter. And how about we stand and sing and dance and move and get some energy that's already flowing, even more energy flowing. And good morning to my beloved Delores. Doris. So good to see you, Doris. Doris is visiting us from the CSL Greater Las Vegas. So Doris and I go way back. And it is just such an honor and a blessing to have you with us here. And I know that Freddie's here too. So thank you. I love you. All right, let's sing before I cry anymore. And it's okay to cry. It's tears of joy.
All right. Check. You want to take this?
Take a look at the person next to you. See, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Just lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together. Name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. Name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Sing, I love you and I love you too. Just feel the love in the sanctuary. So lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 Name of love. We come together. 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 Name of love. Every walk of life, every creed and color, and kinship reunites. Yes, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Just lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. Come together. We come together. In the name of love, come together. Come together. Come together. In the name of love.
Good morning. Hi, Francis. I'm Allison Berry, one of your licensed spiritual practitioners here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. Practitioner Jeannie Kataoka and I will be available after service for a brief moment of prayer in the prayer room, which is located in the lobby. Please don't leave here this morning with anything on your heart. We would love to pray with you and absolutely know that prayer works. Now please allow this music to take you into the silence, followed by this morning's invocation. It is not I, but the Spirit within, who does these things. Oh, glory to God. Oh, glory to God. It is not I, but the Spirit within. Oh, glory to God. Oh, glory to God. So let's come together in consciousness and turn inward together, tapping into that still point deep within, where the heart, the very essence of pure spirit, resides and abides. Knowing indeed that we come together this morning by divine appointment, acknowledging the enduring, absolute spiritual truth of life, which is there is only God. And this divine presence, this pure energy, pure awareness, expresses through and as every person, every place, and everything. It is eternal and infinite, absolute first cause, that breath of unconditional love, deep, pure agape love that sweeps in through and as all of us, that we are fashioned and formed of. It is the peace that passes understanding and infinite intelligence and wisdom. It is the one mind that we think in, through, and as. And it is wholeness, completeness, perfection, joy, unspeakable joy, goodness and grace, harmony and truth, beauty, and just absolutely so much more, for a spirit is limitless and boundless in its scope. It is the light that lights us always. And so as we come together this morning, we are keenly aware of our divine inheritance, of who and what we truly are, these beautiful, magnificent, brilliant emanations of the Most High God. And this truth just is embodied so deeply within each and every one of us as we gather this day. I am blessing today's celebration service, as well as the following beautiful peace pole dedication to our beloved River Lee, knowing that both services are grounded and anchored in love, serve to connect us deeply, and just pour forth a blessing through and as each and every one of us, and the memories of those who may not be able to be present this day. I know that every prayer that is spoken, the words that expressed through Reverend Jeffrey are music, the music of the spheres. Indeed, just the whole celebration this day is one that is filled with grace, pure awareness. That expanded God consciousness indeed reveals itself through and as each and every one of us. And absolutely, it is magnificent to behold. Whatever needs to be revealed through and as the entirety of this time together in community serves to uplift us, serves to uniquely answer a question perhaps that propels us forward on our spiritual path. It's all in divine order and it is all blessed. And so I lovingly let it be so, and together we sing. And so it is.
So please welcome to the stage, Marlon Mackey.
Right. Hello, everyone. Reverend Gregory told me to tell you guys hello. And so he says hello. I bring you hello from Bakersfield. And this song I'm going to do for you right now is very special. The last time I did it, it's an old Carpenter song. So if you guys like the Carpenters, I hope you guys like this. But it's just simply close to you. I just want to be close to you. The last time I sang this song, I was thinking about my children and just how they're on the other side of the United States. And just every morning I wake up and I just want to be close to them. And then on a Sunday morning like this, to walk into a place filled with love where you can feel it all the time. Every building, every sanctuary I've been into, Center for Spiritual Living, it feels just like this. So to be close to you guys is my joy. So I'll try my very best to deliver that song. And I want to thank Michael for inviting me. And so just open your mouth and words come out. I'm all nervous. Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall out from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair, a golden starlight in your eyes, of blue to brown. That is why everyone in town follows you all around. Just like me, On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair, golden starlight in your eyes, of blue, or brown, or cream. That is why everyone in town follows you all around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. Whoa, close to you. Oh, whoa, close to you. Oh, whoa, close to you. All I wanna be is close to you. Every day I wake up thinking, close to you, close to you. All these phone calls don't do, all these times don't do. I wanna be close to you. I'm sending my love to you. In the meantime, I just wanna be close to you. Whoa, close to you. Thank you, Martin. Thank you. Hi again. What a great day. All right. Tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy. So how about we start with our focus statement at this point? And that way we can kind of focus in, shall we? That'll help me focus too. All right. So let's do it with M's for Marlon today. How about that? Okay. So magnificence. Okay. How else are we doing it? Marvelously. Oh, magnificently. Okay. Marvelously, mightily. Musically, mystically, majestically, mutually, metaphysically. Woo. All right, you ready? It's up on the screen. Here we go. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Woo. I think we need to say it again, don't you? Yeah, all right, one more time with all of it. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Yes, that is what we are about here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, in service to a larger vision of a world that works for everyone and all of creation. And so this year here at Centers for Spiritual Living Worldwide, we are working with the theme of living everyday wonder. And this month, the theme or the area of our lives that we are experiencing and exploring are emotions. Ooh. Because
When we were creating the themes for this year at Centers for Spiritual Living, when we were creating the themes, what was really coming forward was practicality, like really living our teaching, really living our beliefs, really living our principles in daily practice, in daily world. Because where do you meet spirit? Where do you meet the divine? You meet the divine in your daily life. You don't just meet the divine here on Sunday, though this is a good place to meet the divine too, when we see each other and we come together in community. We don't just meet the divine on our meditation cushions. We don't just meet and encounter the divine when we are in prayer. We are living, moving, breathing, and having our being in, through, and as the divine, and it in, through, and as each one of us. So every moment of every day is life, is love, is a divine moment. So we are focused this year on really living this fully, really being in the question and being in the wonder of spirit on a daily basis, being in the awe of spirit on a daily basis. So we looked at all the different areas of our lives, our daily lives. So later on in the year, we'll be looking at our finances, we'll be looking at work, we'll be looking at relationships, we'll be looking at our physical health and physical body. This month, though, we are focused on emotions. I just keep, every time I say that word, I hear Mariah Carey in my head. So but then I would have to walk across the stage like this. Ed and I have seen her in concert several times, actually, in Vegas, and so it's always interesting. She's very tiny, very high heels, and her dancers help her walk across the stage. So, because it's also a very tight dress. But, at any rate. So this month we were talking about basically 4 core emotions. There are, depending on which model you look at, there can be anywhere from 4, 5, 6, 7, 27, 52, however many core emotions. But what we've focused on for this month is we're looking at 4 core emotions. And last week we talked about joy, right? We talked about joy and experiencing love. And I want to thank Reverend Victoria for being here and sharing her message on joy, if you're happy and you know it, right, last week, which was a lot of fun. And joy is one of those emotions that we really enjoy, right? And it's like, wow, this is great. Oh, I feel good. Oh, yeah. Right? Joy is a happy emotion. Joy, we feel good when we feel joy. And we want to feel more joy. We have this tendency that it's like, ooh, wouldn't it be great to live in joy all the time? Yeah, maybe. Or what if it's maybe thinking about living in equanimity or balance or peace or calm or poise or perspective? And when we look at it that way, then we look at it as like, oh, it's a much broader perspective than just joy. It's a much broader spectrum than simply joy, because in order to feel joy, we also have the opportunity to feel other things too that aren't joy. And then it helps us appreciate joy all that much more. Remember, we were talking about it a couple weeks ago, that an emotion is energy in motion. An emotion is energy in motion. It's energy in motion that moves through our bodies, that moves through our being, and it moves through, and it's meant to be moved through to completion. And then when we have that emotion move through to completion, then we reach the other side of the wave, which is more of the place of equanimity and calm and tranquility and peace. And then we get to ride the next wave of emotion, the next wave of energy that comes through, whatever that is. We feel it through to completion. And we have a tendency to feel joy all the way through to completion. You know, we tend to laugh, we tend to like smile, it's like, woohoo, yay! And there's some kind of energetic level, and it's like, yay, right? And then, but that's really the only, not really the only one, but that's the one that we tend to feel through all the way to completion. And because we feel it all the way through to completion, we think, oh, joy is fleeting. Happiness is fleeting. Right? But it's not. Joy is a state of being. That's why it's joy. That's why it's a God quality. That's why it's a quality of spirit. It is what part of our truest, highest nature is joy. But when we forget to experience it, or when we're not experiencing it in the moment, when something else is afoot or something else is presenting itself, and that we're not experiencing joy, then we have a tendency to miss the joy. We have a tendency to be sad or experience something else other than joy, which is who we are. So Ed and I went to church yesterday. And it was fabulous. We went to RuPaul's Drag Con yesterday. Yes. And the living prophet herself was there, standing at the top of the screen. And RuPaul was playing music, and there were people dancing on the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race, Drag Con. It was so cool. And we were there, and it was just like, wow, look at all these people being in this room with all this fabulousness. And there's RuPaul up above this giant TV screen, playing songs, like DJing up there. And Ru was playing Janet Jackson's Miss You Much. And this little person got up there. I would say they were about 9 years old. They presented female at the time on stage. Lip sync assassin, knocked the house down. It was absolutely amazing. Just living her best life, their best life right there on stage. And it was just like the joy and the crowd just going crazy, for this person expressing themselves so freely and so beautifully. And it was such a joy. And I remember thinking in that moment, wow, this is joy. This is joy. This is love. This is so incredibly powerful. Look at this young person being free and being celebrated. And look at all these people around, free and celebrated and loved, just for who each one is. And I remember thinking in the moment, it's like, this is joy, and this is going to pass, and that's okay. And the crest of the wave rolled, and then the rest of the day, there was just this yummy, delicious, walking around, being in the presence of love. Now, I know that the title today is The Fear Factor. And some of you may be a little bit nervous or a little bit scared, right? I was like, wait a minute, Fear Factor? Fear? I don't know about that one. I talked to a few of you, like, I'm not so sure about that. But fear, my beloveds, is just another emotion. It's just another part of energy moving through our physical being. And we remember that emotions, that energy moving through our physical and emotional beings, that energy is there. It is an idea. It is a way of waking us up to something. It is an idea of providing information, of receiving information from spirit, as spirit, because what is spirit? Spirit is all that there is, right? So it's just another way of communication. It's just another way of showing up, another way of being. So what happens with fear is we have this belief around fear, don't we? We don't want to feel fear. Ooh, no. Fear makes us uncomfortable. Fear makes us feel anxious. Fear makes us feel nervous. Fear is like, ugh, to quote Lucille Ball. Right? It feels uncomfortable. It feels like there's great discomfort, perhaps, when we are experiencing fear. But fear, my beloveds, is natural. Fear is a natural thing. Fear is there to protect us. Fear is there to help us. Fear is there to keep us safe. If you're running from the saber-toothed tiger, darn right, you're scared. But fear is there. Fear can be a friend. It's when we don't move through fear, and this is where a lot of folks get caught. You're not moving through the fear. You're not stepping into it and moving through the fear. Fear gets trapped, and when fear gets trapped, then it shows up in a multitude of ways. And if you don't think you have any fears, do you have any concerns? Do you hesitate around something? You feel a little nervous, a little anxious. Fear doesn't have to be terrifying. It doesn't have to be horrific, though it can be those things too. Because fear itself is on a spectrum of emotion. And so if we, rather than thinking of fear as something to be conquered, I must fight my fear, I must avoid my fear, I must overcome my fear, I must free myself from fear. Krishnamurti says this: it is not that you must be free from fear. The moment that you try to free yourself from fear, you create resistance to the fear. And what do we know? What we resist persists. Yes. So what is actually needed, rather than running away from the fear or trying to control the fear or trying to suppress it or any other form of resistance, what is actually needed is understanding the fear. This means to watch it, to learn from it, to learn about it, to come directly into contact with it. And when we learn about fear, what we are called to do is we are called to learn about fear, not called to run away from it. Not called to try to escape the fear. So in this sense, fear is our friend. What we've been talking about earlier this month is approaching it by feeling it all the way through to completion, by becoming curious about it, by allowing it to express itself, because remember, an emotion ideally can move, a feeling can move through our bodies in approximately 90 seconds. So if we recognize the fear, we recognize our heart's going boom, 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 and our breath is like, it becomes labored or shallow, right? We can feel that, be present with it, go, oh, look, my heart is beating. Oh, my breathing has changed. Huh, okay. And allow it to express, allow it to be, just simply be present with it. And then breathe. Breathe with it. Now, it doesn't have to be the terrifying, traumatic fear. It can just be a concern, right? Same thing, I have a concern. I'm noticing that I'm feeling a little bit differently in my body. Where am I feeling that? What exactly am I feeling? Am I okay feeling that at the moment? Knowing that this too shall pass. And breathe, and breathe. And then get curious. This is where that living everyday wonder, get curious. What fear, what is this fear? What is this concern? What is this hesitancy? What is this anxiousness? What is this nervousness about? What is it here to share with you? What is it here to teach you? What is it here to provide you? So you might want to ask your questions, like turn to the fear or the concern, the anxiety or what have you, and say, what needs to be known at this time? What do I need to know in this moment? What wants to be revealed to me in this moment? What is up for me to face? What is up for me to learn from? What is the gift that this feeling, what is the wisdom that this feeling is trying to convey to me in this moment? Because this situation, I'm feeling a little tension in my body, I'm feeling a little nervousness in my body. So what is present for me in this moment that is wanting my attention, that is wanting and deserving of my love and compassion? What is that? In visioning, we ask the question, what must be released, right? as we're going through the visioning process, we ask what must be released. And one of the most frequent things that must be released that always comes up is fear. Like, what must be released? Fear. Okay, what must be released? Fear. Do visioning 3 months from now. What must be released? Fear. A year from now. Fear. 7 years ago. Fear. What must be released? Fear. Okay, sweet spirit, I get it, but fear of what? Right? So that becomes the next question about curiosity. Fear of what? Oh, fear of lack. Fear of not enoughness. Oh, I don't think I'm good enough. Oh, I don't think we're good enough. Oh, I don't think there is enough. Or fear of loss. If this happens, then I'm going to lose all this too. And all that. Do I really want to lose all that? And all this? Or fear of change. Good grief. That one's a big one, isn't it? We all enjoy our comfort zones, don't we? Oh, just let me live in my comfort zone, it's okay. No, it's not. When we break through and move beyond our comfort zone, that we actually start living. Because when we don't face our fears and we don't become curious about the fears and we don't become curious about the lessons that they have to offer us, then that is when we start experiencing limitation. That is when we start closing in on life. And that is when we start experiencing and feeding the fear more and more and more and more. Fear is here as a flight, fight, or freeze. Those are the most common ways that we respond or react to fear, right? Fear like gears us up to fight, it gears us up to run, it gears us up, or like if we're a possum, or a deer in headlights, right? And we freeze. But fear, beloveds, fear can also spark creativity and innovation and unity. Because when we experience the fear and we name it and we recognize it and we say, yes, okay, thank you for presenting yourself. Then we go from a reaction to a response, and we're now able to respond from a place of love, from a place of light, from a place of consciousness, because now we are awake to it. Now we are awake to the possibility. So it's like, okay, I'm experiencing a little nervousness. What is that about? Oh, got it. All right, so allow myself to feel through it. Allow yourself to benefit from the wisdom of it. And then when we face it, we become friends with the fear, we become friends with it, and then what? We no longer fear it. Exactly, Amanda. We're no longer scared of it. When we've befriended it, we're no longer afraid of it, whatever it may be. And now it can serve as a guide. Now it can serve as inspiration or creativity. It's like, all right, so here's what's up for me. Here's what it is that I need to learn. So being creative or opening to creative possibilities, what then are the next steps that I can take? What's then possible that was not possible when I was stuck in fear because fear was holding me back? Fear was keeping me tight. Fear was keeping me closed. There's a great quote here. Love this. Stop letting your fear condemn you to mediocrity. All right? Stop letting your fear condemn you to mediocrity. And that's Steve Maraboli. When we allow fear, we get worried about fear, we get nervous about fear, we don't want to feel it all the way through, we don't want to feel the yuckies, so we avoid it, we try to avoid it. It just continues to compound. And when it continues to compound, then we shrink. And then we go back into our little bubble, and then we start living from that place of mediocrity because, beloveds, it's not our darkness that is what we most fear, as Marianne Williamson reminds us. It is our light. It is the fullness, the allness, the gloriousness of who you truly are that can be scary. Because when you approach the truth and when you approach and you feel that experience of like, oh, oneness and awe and joy and wonder, it's like, wow, it feels really big. It feels huge. It feels fantastic. And it's like, whoa, no, maybe that's a little too big. Let me step back. Okay. All right. Let me step forward again. So when we approach fear with curiosity, with possibility, when we approach fear as a friend and we learn from fear, we embrace it, we snuggle up to it and go, hey, what do you got to share with me today? When we do that, then fear dissolves, fear dissipates, but fear then also reveals the source of our faith. Fear then reveals that which we have faith in, that which we have faith as, which is the divine, which is love, which is truth, which is joy, which is life, which is abundance, which is all of those things that we may feel that we are lacking, or that we may feel is missing. When we confront it and we ask questions like, hey, what do you got to teach me? Then faith is revealed. Faith in spirit is revealed. Faith in love is revealed. Faith in life is revealed. Faith in each other. And when we come together, having learned lessons from fear, having been prompted and guided by the wisdom that fear has to offer, then we come together in creativity. We come together in unity to solve challenges that we may be facing individually and as a society and as a world. Think about this. Think about what is currently going on in the United States and all the fears that are surrounding all of the things that are occurring at the moment. Fear that we're going back more than 50 years. Fear of loss of freedoms. Fear of loss of rights, not just freedoms, of rights, of governance of our own bodies, of whom we love and how we show up. Freedom and loss of income, loss, worry, fear, and we're just kind of swimming in it if we allow ourselves to, aren't we? But when we sit and we go, okay, so what is it that's here for me? What is this lesson that is here for me? What is this lesson that is here for you? What is this thing that is wanting to make itself known? When we reveal that, we get curious about it, then we come together collectively and we can collectively unite in creativity and innovation so that we aren't going backwards, so that we are moving forward. Because where does evolution pull us? Forward. Your feet point forward for a reason, people. Movement of life is forward. Movement of love is forward. Movement of joy is forward. So there is a fun little acronym for fear. You've probably heard of several. But the one that I really enjoy, the one that I really resonate with is face everything and rise. Face, F, everything, E, and A-R, rise. So when something presents itself as fear, what it really is an opportunity to face everything, face it, and rise. Rise from the wisdom of it, rise upon the love of it. Ernest Holmes says this, fear cannot remain, no fear can remain where faith holds sway. So when we face the fear, when we face everything and rise, and we stand upon faith, fear dissipates. Fear becomes the friend, the beloved. How does that feel? Allison says good. How does it feel to the rest of you? Freeing. Freeing. Functional. So, embracing the fear factor, there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be scared of. When we look at it and approach it as a friend. Look at it and approach it as wisdom that is wanting to be known. It is spirit revealing itself for the glory and the expression, the highest, most fullest expression, the highest potential, dare I say, of life itself. So I want to close by sharing Mary Ann Williamson's poem here. Pull it up. All right. So as you've heard many times, but I think it bears repeating this day, it is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within, and it is not just in some of us. It's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated, our presence automatically liberates others. And so it is. So I invite our practitioners and our core council members and any guest practitioners, any practitioners or ministers from Centers for Spiritual Living that are visiting us today. I invite you to please stand and surround the sanctuary. We're a little lopsided on this side, so if maybe distribute us out here. There we go. Tomorrow, grandly going down. All right. Let's come together in consciousness, shall we? I recognize right here and right now that there is one power, one presence, one infinite eternal. This one is the divine. This one is spirit. This one is love, is life, is joy, is harmony, is balance, is peace. This one is all that there is. It brought forth from itself, through itself, as itself, all of life, all of creation. That which spirit did not make was never ever mated, because there is only one presence, one power. There is only one life here, one experience here, one being, one consciousness here. We live, move, breathe, and have our being in, through, and as it. We are inseparable from it, because I know that each individual life, each individualized life, each individualized expression is an expression of this one life, this one light, this one joy, this one peace, this one possibility, this one potentiality. This one is all that there is. And so I know that I am one with the one. I am inseparable from it. I know that each one gathered here this day is one with the one, inseparable from it. And I know that we are inseparable from each other. That we are siblings, sisters, and brothers in this one life. Gloriously, magnificently, and perfectly manifested and individualized as the multitude of expressions that we are. Oh, and how good that feels. And I recognize that this one is love, always moving, always expressing itself. And so I know that each one of us, as the power and the presence of this love made manifest, that our purpose in life itself is to be the power and the presence of this love, is to express it, is to share it, is to be it fully, gloriously, and magnificently. This is who each one is. And so standing in this truth, I speak my word for this beloved community, recognizing that emotion is just energy in motion. And so I welcome emotion. I welcome the wave. I welcome the spectrum. I welcome life. I welcome the experience, because it is an expression, an experience of God experiencing itself, of spirit experiencing itself in a multitude of ways. And so all emotion is right and proper. All emotion has its perfect and right place. All emotion is a expression and a way of understanding spirit more fully. When I sit with the wisdom, when we sit and listen, when we sit at the feet of the divine, the feet of the divine teacher, and open. And that's not without outside of ourselves, that is within each one. The teacher lives within, the divine wisdom lives within. The divine revealer lives within. And it is there that we go, and we learn and we grow. And we take this wisdom and allow it to inform our decisions. We allow it, to inform our lives, our choices, our expression. We allow it to guide us, because we are never separated from us, never separated from it. Spirit maintains and sustains its beloved creation. Spirit goes before us and prepares the way and makes the crooked places straight. So I know that each one is divinely guided, divinely guarded, divinely governed through the wisdom of the love intelligence that is all that there is. So I know that this is also true of our community. This is true of our planet. This is true of life itself. And so I give thanks. I give thanks for all of it. I give thanks for this day. I give thanks for this expression. I give thanks for the manifestation of the word itself. And I release this word here and now, knowing that it is done. It is so. And together we affirm. And so it is.
Take me out of my addiction to this crazy fear. Help me rise from the occasion. Help me face my fears. I'm not alone anymore. Teach me to be curious about love, about fear. Taking me from here, I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm
facing everything and rising, the rising sun. Help me see the light of day in everyone. Love is pure and love is here to keep me going. Oh, help my smile be more than I know it. I'm not afraid anymore. Oh, I'm not afraid anymore. Hey, let me wake up in the morning, question myself, what's really going inside of me. I want these emotions to move right through me, so I don't have to be afraid no more. I'm gonna face everything and rise. I'm gonna face everything and rise. I'm gonna put my shoes on, knowing I'm gonna step out in faith. I'm gonna go through this walk. I'm gonna have a beautiful day. I'm not afraid no more. Said I'm not afraid, no, 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 no more. Said I'm not afraid of them no more. I'm not afraid 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 no more.
And just so we're clear that you understand how the fear and the creativity work together, that was done right here, right now. In case you were listening. All right, beloveds, I invite our beloveds who are in service to go ahead and please come on forward. And as they do, I invite you to take out that which you're choosing to contribute this morning, recognizing that we contribute to our beloved community, we contribute to one another. Look around you. These are the people that you're contributing to. This is the love that you're contributing to. This is the love that you are expanding and participating in the flow of. So today, collecting on behalf of the congregation are Frank Conley and Cindy Lambert, and receiving on behalf of the congregation this morning is practitioner Jeannie Kataoka. And so one of the easiest ways to contribute is via text to give. It's simply go to 951-419-5858, type in the amount you're choosing to contribute and hit send. It's just that easy. It's just like texting a friend, because that is, as I mentioned, exactly what you're doing. You're texting a friend. You're texting all the beloveds you see around you and all of our beloveds online. Another easy way to contribute is go to the website, riversidecsl.org. Now in the upper right-hand corner, you will see the word contribute. You can contribute there, or if you're here in the sanctuary, you can contribute the more traditional way, if that's what you so choose. So I invite you to hold your contribution, whatever it is you're choosing to contribute, over your heart space, and let's say this affirmation together, shall we? I give and receive freely and generously, with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything that I God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything that I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything that I need. God is my source, my power. Gives me everything that I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything that I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything that I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
Alrighty, dighty. So just a few things to share with you before we head out onto the patio for coffee and snackies. And the very first thing to share with you is the peace pole dedication happening at noon down at the bottom of the stairs. That'll be happening at noon. So we invite you to please come down and join us for the peace pole dedication in memory of our beloved Reverend Lee McNeil Nash. So come on down to the bottom of the stairs at noon for that. So we're excited for that happening. And then so we are less than a week away, or actually I guess today would be, but at any rate, next Saturday, this coming Saturday, is the Spirit of Art auction celebrating our community artists. Do you have your tickets yet? Yes. Yes? All right, good. I didn't hear everybody say yes, so make sure you get your tickets. That is going to be happening on the 5th that's going to be happening on the 21st from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. We have all kinds of fabulous art ready for you to take home with you. And we also have some gift baskets as well, because, you know, if you already have a room full of art or walls full of art and you don't have like a little basket for your doggy, hey, there you go. There's something there for everybody. And so we have the art auction. There is going to be fabulous hors d'oeuvres and wine and music and just a really good time. So come out and support Spirit of Art auction celebrating community artists. Get your tickets you can go to our website, riversidecsl.org. That's probably the easiest way for you to get your tickets. So do that. Then community picnic, Frank, you want to say something? Yeah. All right. So on the 29th, Sunday the 29th, is our returning annual community picnic. We've taken a 2-year hiatus, and here is Frank to tell you a little bit more about it.
Wake up!
And away!
Well, I didn't die to do that. All right, so we're having a church picnic, as you know. Just a couple things. It's kind of a community thing. When I mean by that, you bring some dishes. Those of you who have signed up to bring a side dish, please do. Those of you who signed up to contribute some money toward the picnic, please do. And for those of you who are bringing stuff, also remember, you need to pick your bowl or whatever you bring up. There's no dishwashing service at the end of the picnic, so you may receive your bowl the way you bought it, either empty, half full, or whatever. But please take it away. Bring your own tents, bring your own games. Just bring yourself and have a good family fun day. Thank you.
And your own chairs, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then starting in June, we have our next class, and that is Healthy Mind, Healthy Body, Revealing Wholeness, and that will be facilitated by Reverend Victoria. And so that'll be on Tuesday, starting June 7th, it'll be from 7 until 9, and that runs for 7 weeks. And it is only $140. That is a really small investment for a lifetime of change. So you can go to our website for that as well and check out all the deets there too. Okie doke?
Yes.
All right, Allison, do I have anything left? No. Michelle, do I have anything left? No. All right, I've gotten the go-ahead from the two of them. So let's stand and say this week's affirmation together, and followed by our closing benediction. All right, so the affirmation is there on the screen. I face my fears with curiosity and faith. Ready? Here we go. I face my fears with curiosity and faith. Now say it like you really mean it. Here we go. I face my fears with curiosity and faith. Perfect. I heard it. Thank you, Cameron, or Sophia. Who was it? Cameron? Yeah, all right, thank you. All right, so repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. And I receive it. And I move love forward. Because love is here. And so it is. Happy Sunday. Let's sing it.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. Receive it. And I move it forward. Because love lives here. Oh, yes. Sing it again. Love lives here. Yeah. Oh. One more time. Sing it with me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. Receive it. And I move it forward. Because love lives here. Oh, yeah. Sing it again. Love lives here. Have a great Sunday. Love you all. I'll have snackies and coffee. When the world gets you down and you're feeling lonely, when you can't find your truth or find your center, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we love each other, and the stars that you see just make us stronger. We breathe it in together, we'll hold you up with grace. We know that love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. So excited to be united with you. Where love lives, where love lives. When life gets you down, you can see the future. Bring all much for you to handle. There are many here who gather together. We pray together, and the hurt that you feel will be set free. We breathe it in together, hold you up with grace. We know that love is here in you and me. Love is here, so breaks free, so excited to be united with you. Where love lives, where love lives, where love lives. love.